Bacon comes to my house a little bit early, and we were just kind of finishing up the last minute things to try to get out the door. And so Bacon collected all of his favorite board games and card games and put them in a bag. Courtney made a sweet potato. It wasn't a casserole. It was like a pie or something, but it was in a larger pan.
Yeah, it was. I would just say it was a sweet potato dish because it was like brown sugar on top with pecans,
marshmallows,
and half marshmallows.
Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So she was putting the finishing touches on that, knowing that she was going to toast the marshmallows on top when we got there. And I'm all irritated because I'm not even dressed yet to go out.
Shocker.
Neither of them were dressed.
Mm-hmm. No. Oh, she wasn't? I couldn't remember. But so we're naked in the kitchen.
And I was just like, wow, guys.
Bacon's like, what games do you guys want to play?
Happy Thanksgiving to me. The craziest part is Bacon walked in the front door naked. So we were like, what are the odds?
How natural this Thanksgiving. This is Podcast Envy. In today's episode, we're diving into the exhilarating world of the Fast and the Furious movies. Fast cars, furious plot twists, and a sprinkle of Vin Diesel. But that's not all. We're talking about dolphins and thumbs, and where do they intersect? We're also going to share with you one of the worst news stories we've heard so far this year. Of course, we'll delve into the world of radio envy, and you'll hear some more from the minds behind the music. So grab your headphones, grab a beer, maybe a shot of tequila. Cheers with us. Let's get started. I actually ended up spending the weekend watching the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Really?
Because,
first time?
Most of it, yeah. I saw the first one.
Did you start with number one?
I saw the first one when it first came out. And
so you went based off of memory.
Yeah. Because, back then, it was no, the first one was...
You're not that young.
When did you start?
I think the first one came out in 2003.
Right.
And I saw that one because Vin Diesel was big back then.
Sure.
And Paul Walker was new to the scene at the time. And Michelle Rodriguez was pretty hot.
Smoke.
As far as, not like her body, but I mean, as far as she was in movies, she was in Resident Evil and, and other stuff too.
She sleeps hot.
Yeah.
It's like furnace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I saw that Fast 10 was on demand. And I was like, I'll give this a shot. I watched it.
You jumped all the way up?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
You went from 1 to 10?
I saw the
That's
fifth
typically
one.
what he does.
Wow.
There's
Generally speaking,
no middle ground.
It's I'm either 1 or I'm 10.
Typical
That's
drummer.
100%
You're a
true.
10 to me.
Oh, thanks, buddy. So I was like, let me watch Fast 10. And I watched it and I was like, this is an international spy movie. This is not a movie about cars. I was totally I don't understand what happened here. So I had to go back and watch to see how this franchise progressed. And
I think in Fast and the Furious 7, they go to space. I think they do. I think they ride a car strapped to a rocket into our atmosphere.
Huh.
Did you watch that one?
I think Dwayne Johnson did that.
Did he?
I was
I
on
thought it was Tyrese or whatever his name is.
Tyrese Gibson. Yeah, he's in it.
Would you be mine, sweet love for all our time?
So I watched 10, and it's actually really good. Jason Momoa's in it, and I love
Aquaman.
Jason Momoa. He is. I watched him back when he was on Stargate Atlantis, it's their first big acting gig.
Nerd.
Right. But the stuff that the guys in the original Fast and Furious, I was I don't know how are these people suddenly so good at shooting and fighting and fighting international terrorists? I don't really understand.
Yeah.
So I went back and watched them,
and it made sense.
And sadly, it made more sense as each movie got more and more ridiculous with more and more impossible action sequences. Like Vin Diesel jumps between one bridge to another while grabbing somebody midair, lands on a car windshield, and gets up and walks away. That at least would break a few ribs. I'm saying
no, he's mostly muscle.
Yeah. He's a beast.
I mean, that's a reality. It's all about family, bro.
And then that's the thing. That's another thing.
Family.
You walk away from that movie being it's all about. That's all it is about.
It's all about family.
It's all about family. And even in the last one, they're there's so much about family. They got Paul Walker to change over. They got The Rock to change over. They got Jason Statham to fucking switch over.
Get out of here, man.
Yeah, and
It
John
was crazy.
Cena and
John
Vin
fucking
Diesel.
Cena is in it, too.
They're related.
I couldn't see him,
though.
Damn it, you beat me to it.
Good. Yeah. So, Brian, tell us more about tequilas.
Oh, the tequilas.
Yeah.
Tequila is interesting because it's different from the gins and the vodkas and the whiskeys and bourbons that have been around for so long in scotches.
Sure.
And there's a tried and true process. The fact that this liquor, to me, that this is the funny thing to me, that it comes out of Mexico and it's like, but only out of Jalisco, Mexico. Mm-hmm. It's like, why not? Well, the conditions are just right. And it's like, okay, so is this a tradition thing? Is it a territory thing? Is this like, this part doesn't make sense to me. Because wine can be grown all over. Now, sure,
Wine is grown on trees, yes.
there are, I'm sorry, wine.
I wish I
Wine
would put like
grapes.
6 wine trees in my backyard. I don't care if I rent. Landlord, you've got 6 wine trees out
Bottle
back.
of Merlot.
We're going to have a Cabernet, a Chardonnay, and a
That's where you
Sauvignon Blanc out there.
you tap the straw into the tree.
And
your
just lay on
glass
the
out.
ground and just suck it out of it. Oh, man.
My thought process remains the same, is that if it's something that you're truly passionate about, that you feel that this is like your calling, whether it's us together because we enjoy each other's company, because we are good musicians and we like playing together and we like those moments that we get to have, or because, it truly feels like a calling, whatever. If it's something that you're truly interested in, you're going to make time for it. Going to the gym.
Yeah, I thought you were doing like a checkbox. It's like going to
I'm
the gym.
just saying.
No. Going to buffet. Yes.
No, this is not the this or that.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Sorry.
Anytime
No.
Fitness, no. Golden Corral, yes.
Yeah. Green bean casserole. Yes.
If it's something that you love, that you're passionate about, you've been playing drums forever, you have actually been around music longer than you care to admit.
Sure.
Same for me.
Yeah.
My dad was a drummer. And
But-
then as I got older, it just made sense for me to try to put those things together.
Yeah. And I think the cool thing is just how we balance each other out because we're not all the same personality.
Nope.
And geez, that was with authority.
I mean, if you just
But it's true.
listen to the last 15 minutes, Michael
15,
was over here.
the
like,
last 2.5 hours.
I hate you guys.
I was trying to make a point. Y'all are making jokes.
Bacon gets so passionate, right? He's like, and this is what I think, and this, that, the other. And I'm like, hey, what about the Beach Boys? And you're like, no, that's not the point. I'm
It's
not.
because I said,
Come on.
I was talking about beach erosion. Damn it!
Exactly. So, but that's the fun part about it, right? So we always bring
about
it back
that.
to some sort of level ground. It's just fun, right? It's a good time.
You have to. I mean, what else are we here for?
Right.
Think about it.
And you know what? If we can't entertain you, we're just going to entertain ourselves. So
My philosophy is that exact point. Who knows how long we're here.
Right.
I'm just here for a good time. I'm here to have fun with my friends, people that
Yeah.
I care about. And if we're not entertaining them, people, whatever, animals.
I think for that, we should do a cheers.
Instead of shouting into the void, we're gonna laugh into eternity.
Exactly. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
I am important. Scream the spec. I keep looking at this painting.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
the painting
I'll
or
tell you
the
about. If
No.
you want me to tell you about the painting, I'll tell you about the painting.
No, I
That's
wanna
Starry
hear,
Night.
Well,
right?
he's
It's not
not
a- it's
wrong.
not a Van Gogh.
It's just a different perspective.
It's a Van Ono.
This
a
honestly,
Van Popcorn
like no bullshit. This
Starry
reminds
Night.
me of a cafe we ate at when I was in Italy, in Rome.
I was just going to
reminds
say it
me
reminds me
of-
of Italy.
That cafe, like we are the people sitting at the table at the end of the
It's
picture.
true.
Like it's exactly what it looked like.
Courtney and I, earlier this year, we went to Italy, and that's what it looks like.
Not exciting, but true. We should do a segment on here called "Not Exciting but True," and so we all just say something that's like
love this.
so banal.
I'm writing
and then
it
at
down.
the end of it, we just
I'm writing it down.
at the end of it. That's it.
It has to exist.
That could be like where I could be like, I've never been to
Not
a Whole
exciting,
Foods.
but true.
Yeah.
That's great. I love it.
In this edition of Not Exciting but True, yeah,
There we go. There we go. Ready?
yeah, and in this,
Come on. Come on, ready?
And this has been not exciting, but true.
All right, let me do it. And this has been exciting, but not true.
That's
No.
absolutely the opposite of what you're just saying.
Wait, what?
It's
Not exciting, but true.
Okay, all right, I'll do it again.
Are you ready?
No, shut up! I just realized. Oh, that was the case. All right, hold on. Oh, hold on. You gotta shut up.
You have to turn that one off or it goes on forever. Okay.
I got it.
All right, Mr. Soundpad.
And this has been not exciting, but true. Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
God.
I'm gonna
Why
make
did I say
that.
it
I'm gonna make that a
backwards?
sound pad. So whenever somebody says something like, I'm just gonna hit that.
This has been exciting.
but this is gonna be exciting, but not true.
Anyway, AI is real. We're all dying.
Welcome to the jungle.
Die.
Oh my God! Sorry. Oh, that really hit
That
me.
was really funny.
That was good. All right, hold on.
Hold on.
I have.
And this has been not exciting, but true.
That might be the winner.
Ooh, that sounded really
That was-
good.
It was good?
That was good.
Okay, good.
That sold me.
A little known fact about me is
Spill it, Mikey B.
I used to be an intern on the Kane Show on Hot 99.5.
Really?
I did.
I remember when Kane was first on Sirius XM, he was on Hits 1, and then he came over to 99.5
Was
it-
to
yeah?
do the morning show.
Was it so he could work with you?
Yeah, he heard that I was in the biz, and he was like, I heard this Michael Bacon guy's.
They're
this-
like, Mikey B?
needs-
I'd sign him up.
We need to get on his coattails immediately. They didn't call me Mikey B, though. They called me Rad. R-A-D.
Tell me, I'm just curious because of watching you put all of this together, the microphones, the headphones, the equipment. What was the equipment like there at the radio station?
Oh, my gosh.
Was it just archaic and dusty and beat up, or
No, it was state-of-the-art computers, like...
So you're on a computer and that's how you did your transitions and
Well, just imagine like this board here. It's got 6 channels. Well, the board had like 25 channels, and each of the channels had like different listening modes. So it's like either out on the air, it's listened just in your headphones, it's in everybody's headphones, or you're recording to a specific device back in the server room. Like,
And is that what you had access? Like, could you just mess with people?
No, Kane was the one who controlled all of that in the live broadcast, but I had another studio that I would have control of where I would do editing, but not a live on air stuff.
And we're live.
And yeah, we're doing it. We're in your car right now.
Current time and weather.
But my time at the Kane Show didn't come without its, interesting stories. There was one, if you go on the internet and you Google, I cheated and this is my punishment, I guarantee you my face will come up
Is it
in the top.
a love story by Rad?
It'll come up as one of the top image features. And there was a couple times, like working after that somebody would post on Facebook these people cheated and look what their spouses or significant others did to them. And my picture was in that slideshow of pictures. So but people would be like, "Hey, is that you? Did you cheat on somebody?" But it was just a bit. It was just a bit
me
we did.
sacrificing my reputation
Yeah, it was
for a bit.
my likeness and everything.
We'll
Yeah.
call it War of the Roses.
Right?
That comes later. But I actually had to stand on the intersection of International, I think, Avenue or Boulevard in Tyson's Corner at the Tyson's Corner.
Yep, I know where that is.
And I stood out there with this sign that the other interns that I worked with had written at Kane's prompting. It says, "I cheated and this is my punishment." And like if I stood out there for 2 days, the first day, not that big of a deal. The second day, it was a media circus. There was all kinds of local
Were
media
people trying
there.
to hit you with their
People
car?
were, people were. There was one woman. I'll never forget this one specific woman who drove by me honking with her middle finger out at me, right, like saying all kinds of like "fuck you," And then like she turned around and came back and did it again. And then she came back and did it the other way.
my
She
God,
must have
gosh.
passed me 5 times, 4 or
She
5
was
times.
having a hard time loading the Tech 9.
Oh.
So I'm guessing that Kane had it on the air to drive past us and honk and do all this other stuff.
Yeah, and they would
Wait,
come
was
to
she
me.
an actor too?
No, she
Now
was
I'm thinking like, is there more people in
exactly.
on the bit?
maybe he didn't tell me about her, but she became a story that I would tell over the air. And I would come in, and like they would come to me, and I would call on the phone, like quote unquote call on the phone, because they got my number somehow, or they called me. I think is actually how it happened. And
Wow. Crazy.
you know, I'd do a couple of minutes on the radio with them, and then they'd go back to playing music and doing traffic. And then I got home the second day, and I got calls from Good Morning America. I got calls from like radio stations across the country. I got calls from an NBC. It was MSNBC. Yeah, MSNBC. To like, they wanted me to come on and talk about my story.
Wow.
And it got so bad that, according to Kane, a Washington Post reporter was in the garage, and he almost hit her on his way out. And he was like, "This is getting too serious. We're just going to drop the bit."
Abort mission.
And so, like, he just dropped it and never mentioned me again. But there was supposed to be like a whole like month-long like thing, but
Yeah.
because it got quote unquote too serious.
I mean, let's be real though. That's kind of a negative thing to make a bit out of.
It is
Like that draws a certain attention that only goes so far, and then you got to be like, all right, hey, just kidding.
Yeah.
You know?
So I got mad because I was like, I'm not going to get to do the big reveal and like be like, hey, just kidding, it was me, Rad. You know, never got to do that. Never ever
just
got.
rad being rad.
Oh,
Never
gee
ever-
golly willikers. Get back in your corner.
I never got to do Rad again. That character died, unfortunately, after I left the show.
So then you, between then and when we just started this, you've been like yearning, your body aching, just trying to get back to this table. Well, we're so glad that Tim and I could be here with you
Yeah.
for this.
I feel like yearning is a strong word, but it's always been in the back of my mind, like what could have been. So you guys want to hear some news stories?
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Or some stories that are like of interest that happened recently?
Oh, okay. Like, are these like music stories or
Yes.
funny stories or
It's a little bit
fake
of
stories?
both.
Is this like the Onion
No.
stories, or they're like actual stories, but we'll just laugh about them?
It's actual story. It's the
Or
I'll
be
laugh at
serious?
anything.
Or be serious?
No, I can't be serious. Are you kidding me?
Okay, sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Bacon. What you got?
He looks serious though.
He
Should we be
does.
serious?
I don't mean to look serious.
All right,
I
all right.
mean to look jovial.
Hey, Brian, get ready. Here we
I
go.
mean,
All right,
jovial,
go
but in
ahead.
a serious way. This is kind of like man-child.
Oh, nice.
All
I
right,
should write a
so-
song about that.
AI singer-songwriter Anna Indiana's first single is called "Betrayed by This Town."
That sounds made up.
Yeah.
It is made
Is
up.
the whole thing.
Hold on. She's like the state of Indiana?
They created an AI singer-songwriter and named her Anna Indiana.
It sounds
Okay.
made up.
And it composed a song.
I think they prefer they, them, ziza.
It's called "Betrayed by This Town." The lyrics go, the chorus is "Betrayed by this town, let's tear it all down. We're all just destined to fall. I've lost it all, betrayed by this town." And then it really enters the question, what would Skynet be if it was emo?
I was going to say, is this all Skynet?
Yeah.
This is just everybody's worried about Skynet.
Yeah, there's a lot of hype around her next release. It's called "Click the Tiles," featuring crosswalks.
Jesus. Is this what we're getting to?
Is that?
Is this what music is
We're
becoming?
already doing it with CAPTCHA.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, should we even bother playing any gigs anymore? I mean, if we're going to have AI write these gems.
So what are we thinking? with
Betrayed by
this,
the town. Let's
with Miss
tear it all
Indiana?
down.
I mean, is that going to be live music now? Is it going to be a hologram with a pre-recorded AI
Like ABBA?
developed music? Like
Do you guys
ABBA?
know the story about ABBA?
I know a little bit of it, but I don't know enough to say that it's AI.
So they recorded all their. They were big in the 70s, right?
Right.
Big
Dancing
70s,
Queen.
early 80s. Yep.
I
Okay.
mean, they're still kind of big now.
So, but they never toured live. You didn't know that?
Oh, they were just a studio
They
band.
never toured live. They were a studio band, and they were big in the nightclubs, whatever. But now what they're doing, and I think it's in Vegas. I could be wrong.
did hear
I
about
know you
this.
do because you freaking pay attention to everythtion. You pay attention to too much, maybe.
Maybe.
And so they recently started touring as holograms.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why I'm thinking.
No.
Yes. So
Hold on.
people are paying. They are making
no.
millions of dollars. So I'm pretty sure it's a Vegas thing. Just like Britney Spears, just like Celine Dion. Everybody had their Vegas bit. And so they are making millions of dollars per week of people buying tickets to these holographic virtual shows.
outta here.
Listening to recordings from the 70s.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But they're putting, obviously, I don't know if it's the AI thing, but it's certainly a technological thing that they're putting so much money into these things. But the return on investment is,
Huge.
tenfold.
Yeah.
Gorillas were before their time. Man, I tell you.
What was it on the Casio? They were just like, boom, ding, 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 ding. It's like, yeah, let's make a song with that.
Yeah, I found out the Taco Bell is
I
from the.
sent that to you.
You did.
Say what?
The Taco Bell is from a Yamaha X something
DX7 or something. Yeah.
keyboard with set to bells, and you hit the
Dung.
specific dung. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. These guys were in the studio and they learned that.
So the worst headline of this week.
Okay.
Are you ready for the worst headline of this week?
Ooh, I'm ready.
All right. So this is the entire headline.
Hit me.
I thought I had the flu. It was a flesh-eating disease that ravaged my butt.
This has nothing to do with music.
Come on.
Or does it?
Yeah.
Was she listening to Radio Envy?
The New York Post reports that a Scottish mom of 2 is relieved and recovering after a rare flesh-eating bacteria, necrotizing fasciitis, left her
was
with
relieved in bold.
yes. The necrotizing fasciitis left her with a 20-centimeter deep hole in her butt cheek. Her husband grew concerned when she started sweating.
When he got it in the wrong hole.
Oh my God!
And he was like, honey, this doesn't feel like it normally does.
Or maybe it's, honey, this doesn't feel like it normally does.
This is new.
Her husband grew concerned when she started sweating profusely and couldn't walk. The cause of the
Tell me more.
had nothing to do with what happened the night before, I'm sure.
Sure.
The cause of the infection was not clear. It could have started as an ingrown hair. So thank you for that thing that I'm scared to death about that I had no idea existed before today. She was in a coma for 9 days. She had to relearn to walk, and she will have a colostomy bag for the rest of her life.
Oh my God. Seriously?
What a terrible headline.
Yeah,
terrible.
why did you pick that one of all the headlines?
Because I got to say that she had
Fasciitis.
Something-
Necrotitis fasciitis.
because the thing that stuck out to me was the line in the news article was her husband grew concerned when she started sweating profusely and couldn't walk.
He's like, honey, I've never been this good. What is wrong with you?
Were there no
Are you okay?
Were there no signs before the fact that she couldn't walk?
Well,
I'm just curious.
and since when does the flu also give you a 20-centimeter hole in your butt cheek?
That's another thing that they didn't really come clear on in the
Or
article.
clean.
I mean, mind you, we're talking about the New York Post, but they didn't really connect the two in the article that I read about it.
We're not a political.
Not a political at all.
I was trying to put podcasts and politics in the same word. We're not a political.
I love
Okay.
it. I love it.
We're not a
This is
political.
not a political question. This is a question of how good the news source is.
Oh, okay. All right, hit us with another one, Bacon. I need something
Yeah.
funny.
You want
after
something
that.
funny? I got
Can
something
you give
funny.
me something funny? Because like after that, I don't know where this is going.
Okay, we won't go deep into a 20-centimeter hole in her butt cheek.
Oh no, it's okay. It's just a flu.
A dolphin with thumbs.
Oh my God! I feel like I'm still standing in line at the grocery store looking at the National
You
Enquirer.
A dolphin with thumbs was spotted this past July in the Gulf of Corinth, which is
Do you
in
remember
Greece.
Bat Boy? Is that what we're talking about? A dolphin with
I remember
thumbs.
Bat Boy. I do
Yes,
remember that.
exactly. You know what I'm talking about.
This dolphin with deformed digits is the first of its kind, as far as you know, and experts say that it was a genetic defect formed in the womb. Scientists were easily
of
able
a human from somebody on vacation.
I think this is the best
and
part
the
of the
dolphin
story.
was getting little humpy dumps. Yeah.
I think this is the best part of the story because scientists were easily able to get a photo of the dolphin when they asked him, who has 2 thumbs and loves tuna? And the dolphin pointed at himself with his thumbs and said, this guy. And they snapped a selfie.
So
That's awesome.
You wrote this article
That's
is what you're
awesome.
telling me.
I love it.
You wrote this. Okay. You got me. You got me. Good job.
No, that's a real story. That's a real
No,
story, but the joke was great. Sorry, I
loved it.
couldn't let
This
it
is an
go.
awful
loved it.
story. Ugh. Was this, where was this? In Russia?
No,
Greece.
this is from the Gulf of Corinth.
You were not even listening to the article.
I couldn't. When the headline was Dolphin with Thumbs.
Like as you were reading, in Brian's mind, it was da 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 da. Yeah,
yeah, the dolphin was juggling.
yeah. 2 thumbs.
It has 2 thumbs,
This
so it
guy.
could. But I saw the picture, and it kind of looked more like a can opener than a fin. Like you think about a dolphin fin, what it would look like with a thumb. It looks like the part of a can opener where you it off. It looks like that.
Is that the noise it makes?
Yeah, just like that.
That's pretty good, actually. You know what speaking of, you know what, when I was in elementary and middle school, was a
Going
big
way
deal,
back.
was the Walmart commercial. And this is before, like I would sing in church and whatever, but this is when I realized that I could actually whistle. And the Walmart commercial came out. Wait, hold on. Oh God, now I'm confusing it with something else.
Okay.
Or
Hold
he's
on.
having trouble whistling. We have yet to confirm which is the cause.
Now I can't think of it, but it's the rollback with the happy face that's bouncing around and he's tapping the signs and the rollback.
I'm familiar
stuff's
with the
going down.
commercial. Yeah.
God damn it! What is the whistling? I ruined my own joke,
You did.
my own bit.
It's definitely going to
Wow.
make it in the final cut.
We got your favorite spot because you've only mentioned him by name and oddly as a musician at the beginning of this take.
Oh, Sinistral.
And what's his name?
Plain.
He's got a cool story. I'm excited to have him in here for an interview because not only is he ex-military, he's a veteran, but he has such a cool childhood story before he got into the military, how essentially he was a hustler. And
He's a hustler, baby.
he was and still is. Anyway, he's got such a cool story
Yep.
because it's one of my favorite places to play. I know that you guys love being there too.
Yep.
And
Hell
it's
yeah.
a fantastic spot. And it's like, if I were to own a brewery, that would be it
100%.
because he supports local musicians. He recently built a stage very recently, put up speakers
Yep.
and a whole system in that space for us to, just plug and play. Amazing couple, him and Stacy and the team that he employs.
Yeah.
I love that place.
And they've had Brett Michaels there.
They have. That's the other thing too. They close down the streets and they have these gigantic First Friday events, and they will bring in big names and bands to come in and play.
Yep.
Yeah, I always loved watching or playing Sinistral, but like the thing that really solidified it for me was when they created a beer and named it after us. It was the Radio Envy Blood Orange
That's
Nipa.
right. Yeah.
And
it was the Sneepa.
Sneepa, yeah, I'm sorry.
It was
Sour
the blood
New
orange,
England.
sour New England.
Sour New
IPA.
England, yeah. And while it was still in its, brewing stage, we were able to
Go back there and
go
take a
back
sippy.
there and take a sip of it before it got carbonated. And that was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. Like I've never had a beer.
Well, you finally got to see the back end of
Yeah.
the whole process.
And that will forever stay in my mind as a memory that I will never forget because it was so cool to be like, hey, the band that's playing this weekend
They have
is
a beer.
also has a beer.
Yeah.
And like how many bands can really say that they had a beer named after them?
Yeah.
Like I think that's an amazing thing. And that's like one of the reasons I love Blaine and Sinistral is Blaine was like, I want this to be the CBGBs of
Yeah.
Northern
Of
Virginia.
Old Town Manassas.
We should
too.
totally do it again. We should
Yeah.
do another beer.
Yeah.
Well, he does that. He does that with other artists. He did that specifically with us.
Let's do it again.
That's him taking in and giving back.
Yeah, and he's so fun and so funny. Like I really think our interview with him if he agrees to it, which I'm sure he will.
Yep.
Is going to be an amazing show.
He's already in. I talked to him.
Oh, really?
I talked to Matty D. I talked to a couple other people in our circle, and yeah, they're all excited.
Drummer Jay Weinberg, son of E Street Band and Conan's Max Weinberg, was recently fired from Slipknot. He showed up to play with the Bouncing Souls in Nashville. In other news, the Bouncing Souls are still together. I'm funny. They've released 12 albums in over their 30-plus years together, and they are touring to promote their latest record, 10 Stories High. I don't know what's going on with Slipknot, but apparently, there's only a select few members left in the band.
Wow.
They went from Ozfest to...
With all that buzz.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Jay Weinberg, son of Max Weinberg, was alerted to the firing shortly before they released it publicly.
Right.
He didn't have much notice before it went out to the masses. And they didn't really give a good reason except for, we're always evolving.
So now what?
So did that hit you harder than other news because he's a drummer?
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever a drummer has something within the band affect them, I feel it, man.
Yeah.
Because Joey Jordison was the original drummer from Slipknot. He died way too early. But Jay Weinberg did a great job. I saw Slipknot when Jay Weinberg was the drummer, and you couldn't even tell it wasn't Joey Jordison. It was amazing. He was great, and he helped them with with the albums that he played on. And then they were just like, well, thanks for kind of hanging out. Bye. Wow. And and that's the kind of risk you run whenever you're quote unquote a hired gun for the core members of a group. You have to deal with you could get fired.
There's a lot of
Without
personalities,
cause.
I think, that go into that,
yeah.
though. I mean, come on. It exists. It has existed forever, and it exists today. We're lucky that we get along as well as we do.
I was going to say, fortunately, neither of us have any personality.
Speak for yourself.
Come on.
Speaking of Hired Gun, there was actually a documentary about Hired Gun.
A documentary.
A documentary?
A documentary.
I think the R came before the E.
Yeah, except after C.
Unless it's in Wait or Neighbor.
So there was a documentary about hired guns, which was pretty cool. I
think I saw that.
Yeah,
Like actual hired guns?
for bands.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Dog the Bounty Hunter.
No,
okay.
no.
Nobody's
No.
thinking about Dog
I
the
think
Bounty
both
Hunter.
are cool.
It came out like 5-ish
Yeah, it's been a
years
while.
ago.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. It's pretty cool. Yeah,
It is worth the watch.
yeah, I agree. What other news do you
Was
have
that
for us,
it?
Bacon?
You weren't going to get into it at all?
Well, you gave me a face while you're eating your
No, I'm
pretzels. Like,
interested.
I
Come
have
on.
no idea what you're talking about.
I just didn't
so-
want to be rude and chewing.
Yeah, it's
No,
fine.
I was interested.
No, it's cool. It just kind of goes to the.
Did you watch it, or you just saw the thing and you're like, hey, there's a documentary out there about the thing?
No, I actually watched it. No, it went through. Why do you say that?
Because you stopped short. You were like,
That's my
"Nah."
move.
I don't think so. You got 2 kids.
Yeah, that's true.
You didn't stop short.
No, it goes through. I think it's a guitarist, a couple guitarists, and I think a drummer as well. And
were
kind of
they-
their journey with.
Were they session artists, like studio only?
No,
were
they would
were
go on
playing-
tour.
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
the touring
Yeah,
guys.
and it kind of there's a lot of stuff that's like up in the air, right? You don't know when your next show is going to be, or when the next band's going to pick you up, or if you're just filling in for somebody that's sick that's in the band, so it's only a short time thing. And
Do you think that's kind of like being a stunt double in the?
yeah, I
the
guess
studio
to a degree. But
Think about it.
But
Just like us, like there are so many people like us, like musicians. There have to be that many other people as stunt doubles or wanting to be stunt doubles, and
But sometimes as a hired gun, you get signed on to be with the band. Like if you click and you mesh with the band, like you're part of the band.
yeah.
Yeah.
This honestly, if we position this appropriately, this could be tremendous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
For
from
the
a
space.
local perspective, right?
That's
Well,
really what I'm shooting for. Yeah.
You start there and you continue to work your way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep. I agree.
I'll cheers to that.
I love
Oh
it.
man, you have a lot more tequila than I do.
Well,
Yeah, I'll cheers with
some
you.
of us don't live here.
Yeah.
So we have 2 hours and 17 minutes of material.
You guys
Love it.
ready to cheers and get us the hell out of here?
I mean, I would.
Okay. I'm in.
Yeah? Do you have anything?
I mean, I have this. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Wow.
All right, boys.
All right, boys.
Cheers.
This episode was produced by the boys of Radio Envy and Bacon Wave Podcast Productions in cooperation with Revelry Media Productions. Michael Bacon engineered this podcast. If you like what you heard, please share us with your friends and maybe even your family. Follow us on Threads and Instagram with the handle @podcast.nv. If you would like to contact us here at Podcast NV, you can write to us at contact@baconwaveproductions.com. Visit our website at baconwaveproductions.com/podcastnv. Until next time, be safe, stay out of trouble.